Friends, welcome to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Caitlin and I like to film eyeshadow palette, ranking, and review videos, as well as the occasional other beauty content sprinkled in. So if you like eyeshadow palettes, if you like indie makeup, if you like beauty content in general, I highly recommend that you hit that subscribe button because I post 2 videos every single week. And for those of you that are not new here, my face is happy that you are seeing it again. And I am excited, sort of, about today's video. So we are going to be trying out the new Melt Cosmetics, new-ish I guess I should say, but the Melt Cosmetics Dark Matter palette. This is the new palette that Melt Cosmetics launched for their 10-year anniversary, but it is a palette form of one of their original stacks, or the original stack, which was the Dark Matter stack. So if you want to see me do a look with this palette, give my first impressions, thoughts, and a review on the palette, then, well, a first impressions review, not a full review because we're only doing one look. But anyways, if you want to stay tuned for that, you should like this video and let's get into it. Okay, so this is the carton that it comes in. I think this is fun, the black and white and like kind of graffiti, or like kind of graffiti but also kind of like serial killer letter. You know, when they do the like magazine letters or whatever, ransom letters, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, you get what I'm saying. It's also very early and I'm on a time crunch, so my brain's not working. But this is what the packaging looks like. The eyeshadow palette has, some of the shades have mica, or possibly all of the shades. This is talc free. Oh, it came with something. Hold on. I was like, let me give you the info that they gave on this little card. I did purchase this palette myself, but they sent a little card that said, this is a 12 shade palette. It features their staple ultra matte eyeshadow formula, and which is now talc free. So the palette is talc free. And then they have new cream matte and cream satin textures. And let's see, got a 12-month open container. It is made in Italy and distributed by Melt Cosmetics out of California. I think that's the gist of it. So yeah, let's take a look at the inside. So this is the actual palette packaging. Still has that similar like letter type of theming. There's a sticker on the back that has the shade names. And then when you open it, it does come with an insert that has that same kind of lettering that goes over the shade, so you can have the shade names that way as well. The shade names aren't actually printed on the palette, which is not a huge deal. It's inconvenient if you're somebody who does like beauty content where you're trying to do tutorials and things like that, because it's easier to be able to say like, this is the shade. I mean, I know you can keep this, so you could have it just like sitting right above so you can kind of see it. But I guess my issue is like, this palette's a decent, and not decent, it's expensive. Like, it's an expensive palette, so I just feel like, I don't know. I just don't, there's just some cost saving measures there that I just think, anyways, I just am not a huge fan of it. Let's just put it that way. I also like am actually angry about the circle pans, but we're gonna test the palette. We're not gonna let my biases potentially shape my thoughts. I haven't swatched this yet, but I heard that this is the cream, the black is the cream matte formula. Yeah, that makes sense. And then there's a cream satin. I think it's the lightest shade. Oh yeah, it's this lightest shade. So these are the 2 cream formulas. I just wanted to swatch these because they're new. I kind of like that cream satin formula. I think that that's pretty cool actually for doing looks with. I was going to do a smoky eye today because I felt like this palette, a lot of the claims they've made is that you can do the best smoky eye ever with this palette, and I want to test that. I know it's not the most creative look with this palette, but like most, like, you know, different, creative, inspiring, whatever, and I try to do looks that are different, but this is like a mostly neutral palette, so everything's gonna look pretty neutral. But I thought the testing out the claims of the smoky eye was what I really wanted to hit home with this review. So let's do the look. We're gonna start with the cream black, which is the shade Eclipse up here, and I'm gonna pack that all over my lid. Let's see how easy it is to do a smoky eye with this palette, because like I said, I'm kind of on a time crunch. I'm excited that Melt is doing these cream matte formulas. I know Natasha Denona's been doing that for a minute. I'm sure there's other brands that have done it, but Natasha Denona is the one that I'm familiar with. But I just think it's cool that Melt's getting into that. And while I do have a lot of things that I'm not super happy with about the palette, like the pan shape and the lack of shade names on the actual palette, I am a huge Melt stan. So I just want to acknowledge that. I know a lot of their palettes are hit and miss for people. There's been a couple of palettes that I felt like aren't as good as their others, but for the most part, I'm into their stuff. Like even the palettes that are a miss for me, they're not quite as big of a miss as like I feel like other people make them out to be. I don't know. I don't have as much of an issue with them as it seems like a lot of beauty YouTubers do. But I could just be biased. I don't know. I kind of like that this cream matte definitely is like it's creamier, and so it's a little bit easier to push around, pack on, things like that, but it definitely isn't like as creamier, as emollient as I feel like other cream shadows I've used in palettes. I think Huda Beauty had a couple of those cream ones, but those might have been more meant to be like gel liner types because those were really, really creamy. And I don't think they dried down matte, so they might have just been cream and not matte, not a cream matte. I don't know. Anyways, okay, so I guess now we're gonna go into the shade Enigma, which is this red matte down here. We're gonna blend out that black a little bit. And I don't think I told you the first brush I was using. It was a Morphe M152. I love that brush for a smoky eye to just pack on shadow. I don't know what it is, but that brush really does that for me. Now we're gonna use a ME11 from Made by Mitchell. And it's like a little blending brush. And that Online Makeup Academy course that I was doing, they have a carbon black smoky eye, or a carbon smoky eye. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I haven't done that part of the course either, so who knows, I could be giving you bad technique right now, but I'm just fluffing this around where the black is because you don't really want like such a harsh line with the black. So next up I'm gonna go into the shade Fade right here. I wish it was like a little bit lighter, but I don't want to go into the lightest brown after this because I feel like that's going to be too harsh of a contrast, but we'll see. We'll just see how this goes. I love that I'm doing like a really intense smoky eye and I'm going to go to work after this. I'm going to take this Singe Beauty EO3 brush and the shade Unseen, which is the lightest like matte. Because the lightest, oh wait, no, there is a lighter matte, Blur. There's the cream satins above it. Okay, so I might need to mix that in here because this might be a little dark for my skin tone. Or we're just really grungy today, which that's what I think I like about Melt, is they always have like just these grungy undertones that are really nice. Okay, so now let me clean off that same brush and I'm gonna actually go into Blur, which is the lightest matte. And we're just gonna soften that a little bit more. I mean, I feel like that blend is real nice. I don't look at the black part because we're gonna fix that here in a second, but the like brown part of the blend, the neutral part of the blend is real, that's real nice. They blended together nicely. Okay, so we're gonna go back into that original Morphe M152 brush and I'm gonna set, because this was the cream matte, I want to set it with the actual black matte, which is dark matter. A bit of kick up in the pan on that one. Doesn't bother me because I'm doing this look before my base, but I'll let you know how the fallout situation is. And I'm just blending the matte into the crease a little bit so that it's not quite as harsh and we have that black as part of that blend. Ooh, okay. All right then. I think it did the smoky eye and it did it really easy. Okay, so I had like no fallout over here, but quite a bit of fallout over here, so do with that what you want. I think this is kind of it. I'm pretty impressed with it. I'll do the rest of my makeup and come back to show you the finished look, and we'll see if we like it all done, but like I like it right now, which if I like it right now, I'm probably gonna like it when all the rest of my makeup is on. So anyways, be back in 1 second. Here is the finished look. I did the same mattes on bottom that you saw me do. The only thing you missed was that I took this cream satin shade, which is Gleam. I just put that on the inner corner. But yeah, I mean, this is the finished look. I think this is a very deep black smoky eye. So I really like it. Like I said, it's got a very grungy tone to it, which I feel like is what Melt's known for. So if you want like a grungy tone smoky eye, I feel like their claim of this being a go-to smoky eye palette is accurate. We'll see how this wears throughout the day. We'll see how that cream matte wears. I'll try and remember to come back at the end of the day or just insert a clip here of my thoughts. The cream eyeshadowed. We got, I mean, quite a bit more creasing on this side than this side. This actually, you know, like, I've worn this for 11 hours now, so that's why the rest of my face looks terrible. I also wear glasses while I work, so that's what's happening here. But anyways, like, if I was leaving work, this wouldn't be that bad. Like, I don't hate, like, a lived-in look too much, but, like, that's a problem. That's not, I could live with that. It's not so great. That is my first impressions thoughts. I thought the mattes blended really well. Obviously, I barely use the shimmers. I kind of like that cream satin shade, though. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that'll look really nice, especially if you have textured lids on and not enhanced texture. I haven't tried that, so I'll have to confirm, but I think that'll be a nice shade. So overall, I'm happy with it. It's a pretty basic neutral palette, so if it's something that you're interested in, I think the matte quality is really good. As of right now, if I inserted a clip and it wore terribly, then I guess I'll let you know that. But yeah, that's it from a first impression standpoint. I do continue to rank palettes as I use them, so if you want to hear my thoughts as I continue to play around with this palette, definitely subscribe. But that's it for me, and I will see you all next time. Bye!